Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone across the country is talking about. Our top story for you today: a new bridge will cut travel time and ease traffic on the Sheikh Rashid road.
And UAE launches a new 100 dirhams banknote with modern designs.
And the Dubai ruler meets the founders of Fix Chocolate.
And is reality show India Bling coming soon?
And later on in the show, we're going to speak to the guys who ran 7 Emirates in 10 days. That's 640 kilometers. We are going to ask them why.
And in today's rapid weather report, the weather report reports dust with temperatures ranging from 21 to 27 Celsius.
Good morning to everyone tuning in on Instagram, TikTok. Good morning, Nusret. Good morning, Ahmed. Good morning, Marco. Thank you all for tuning in to this live stream on this beautiful day. So, I woke up this morning and I generally tend to not, I look at my phone and I put it away. But I saw this story and I had to read the entire thing. It came out on The Atlantic, which is an American news publication, and the title it hooks you in from the moment you see it. It says, "The Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plans."
How stupid are you? I'm sorry.
Well, I don't want to say the administration is. It was just the person who added the editor. They added the editor of the news organization to their Signal group chat, which is like a private version of WhatsApp. And they started to have the entire conversation. Should we, shouldn't we? Yes, we're going ahead. How we're going to do it. And then congratulate each other
on purpose?
On the doing it.
It might be on purpose.
No,
because
not to hope. But no, it's because
but he's the administrator of a news channel.
They don't. First of all, they don't need the publicity, and second of all, they actually violated sharing this type of high-level government information on a WhatsApp channel, on a Signal channel that has disappearing messages. Goes against policy. Everything needs to have official documentation. Everything needs to be officially recorded. So while they can start a conversation on this channel, they can't actually share the high-level details. So even the conversation itself goes against policy. Hence, you've got Hillary Clinton, who got in trouble for something similar a few years ago. She's loving it.
Text like the editor of Atlantic was accidentally added to the group chat is reading everything.
Imagine you're in this group chat.
Imagine you just read, and just after they say everything and they mention their plans, and you just text, sorry, I think I was added to the wrong group.
Yeah.
How much of a power move is that?
That would have been amazing. What he did was he left the group thinking, when you leave a group, there's a notification, and he thought people messaging him, nothing happened. So then he sent a message to whoever, maybe the press. And he got a response verifying that it was true and details. I know.
I can't believe it. What are the odds that you will be added to a group chat where they're discussing war plans?
What are the odds that it's the editor of a publication who would just lap it up?
Who would write all about it.
Exactly. I just think about the WhatsApp group channels, and we've got, the way you've got this group chat with your friends, and that's just for you. It can't be for anyone else. And I just think if anyone read my group chat with my friends, I would there's a specific chat, and you're just thinking that's just for us. That's their chat.
That's their chat. That's their typical chat. War plans.
They're talking about their boss. They talk about Trump in the conversation. And it's
when this happens, I always love to read Trump's Instagram comments.
Interesting.
Because, people troll a lot. So it's funny to see what people are commenting.
This isn't intended to be a political conversation, by the way. It's just about the fact that
this person accidentally got added to a group chat. If you ever accidentally get added to a group chat, I think don't leave, just read. But after they're done, just said, "Oh, sorry, I think I was added to the wrong group chat."
Do the mic drop and allow them.
Let them panic and leave.
It's just such a high level blunder. We all make mistakes at work.
But this is a huge mistake.
This is an unbelievable mistake that just it shouldn't have happened.
Administrator of a newsletter.
The one person you don't want chat is a journalist who runs The Atlantic.
And you know how journalists can run things and run stuff and
they
can make a story out of anything.
I think The Atlantic is connected to the New York Times, which obviously is one of the it's not totally pro-Trump, and therefore they run with this.
They will run with it. They will make a story out of this. Just wait and see.
Anyway, Fun one to wake up to this morning. Let's bring it closer to home. More updates on the traffic front in Dubai.
So new RTA bridge cuts travel time and eases traffic on Sheikh Rashid Road. So Dubai Roads and Transport Authority has opened a new 3-lane bridge allowing 4,800 vehicles per hour to travel seamlessly from Infinity Bridge to Sheikh Rashid Port. Part of the massive AI Shandaka corridor improvement project, this 1,210-meter bridge aims to ease congestion and enhance connectivity across key areas like Al Mina, Al Rafah, Al Karama.
So if those are your areas, take note. The larger project spans 13 kilometres and includes 5 bridges, new road developments and pedestrian crossings, ultimately cutting travel time from 104 minutes to just 16 minutes by 2030. That's not insignificant. With 90% of phase 4 completed, 2 more bridges are set to open later this year, reinforcing Dubai's commitment to world-class infrastructure and efficient urban mobility. We say it once, we say it again, the roads are getting better. Right now, because spring break, by the way, I didn't know schools were off for 2 to 5 million weeks. Like they're off at the...
I didn't know that we're on spring break until I noticed like less traffic on the roads.
I thought it was coming into
buses.
Eid, but yeah, it's a spring break. But apparently the teachers were working for 11 weeks non-stop. So they had a big chunk after the the winter holidays, and now it's spring break for 2 to 3 weeks.
I think that's why they connected Eid holidays with the spring break. It makes sense to do that actually.
But do you think it's intentional, or that's just the way it fell because of the Islamic calendar? I don't know.
Maybe it's because of the Islamic calendar, but I remember back when I was in school, they would connect it. Like if there was a Eid holiday, they would have connected with the public holiday. Sorry, with the school holidays.
The roads are just so much better when school's not in motion. You
and
just
I love not
notice
seeing
it.
buses on the road, but because they drive like maniacs for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I should report
That's
it.
a whole other. I think you should. If you see a bus driving like a bus driver, I think you should.
They should be
that.
safer, I know, but they drive. My school bus driver drove like a maniac.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, and a lot of people complained. A lot of parents complained.
For sure. Oh
but
my
he never
gosh.
stopped. You know what? We liked it. You know why? Because we always reach within 30 minutes.
If your kids are getting out of school, let's just ask them: is the driver driving safely? Because that's important. Update yesterday on the cash front.
So UAE launches a new 100 dirhams banknote. The UAE has introduced a new 100 dirhams banknote now in circulation, made from durable polymer. The note is designed to last longer and be more environment friendly. It features Al Quwain National Fort, Port of Fujairah and Etihad Rail, symbolizing the nation's heritage and connectivity across the UAE and GCC. The banknote includes enhanced security features to prevent counterfeiting, along with the braille symbols for accessibility.
The Central Bank of the UAE confirmed that the new note will circulate alongside existing ones, so there'll be a smooth transition. So don't worry, if you've still got that 100 dirham in your pocket, it's fine. And also the new one, it reminds me of those like the ones, I think we have them in the UAE now, like the 50 dirhams, the 10 dirhams, and they can go into water and they'll still be okay. But I
was so impressed by that.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like they have in Australia, because they're just like water.
Like, what do you mean they can float off?
It's so cool though, because they last longer, but I just don't see them. I don't use cash.
Do you prefer cash or cards?
I think it's absolutely so dangerous, but just ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding,
ding.
But you know what? I do realize that if you use cash, it flies. Money flies so quickly.
It goes quicker?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you don't feel it.
I have no concept of it anyway. It doesn't matter where it's coming from, it just goes anyway. But what I don't like about cash is the tipping thing. Like I do find myself short in some situations and I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. But like, what's my sorry? My sorry is nothing. Like,
your sorry is nothing.
Have your cash.
Have your cash with you.
Can someone, we're going to talk about entrepreneurs soon, but could someone have even when I go to the salon, they've got that QR code for tipping.
Yeah.
And then you do it, but you have to go into each person specifically. Yeah. And it's like 5 to 10 minutes and I'm trying to get home and I'm doing this. And I do it, but it's annoying and I wish there was a...
But it was just easier to just tip them with cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Restaurants have now tipping services. You know, when you scan?
Yeah, that's easy.
And you have 3%, 7% or 10%.
It's not the restaurant's tipping, it's like if someone helps you with something when you're just walking. Like if someone carries your bag, or I don't know.
That's why you need to carry cash around with you, maybe. I try, I used to always carry cash with me, but now I stopped. I feel like I always lose it. That's the thing. Like, it's so easy for you to lose cash.
Yeah.
So easy to misplace. So easy to misplace cash.
I'll have a note. I have a note in my handbag, and it's been sitting there. It's a bigger one than it's something used as a tip, and it just sits there because I'm like, oh, I'll need it for like this thing, and I never use it. Anyway,
maybe for travel you need cash. I feel like for travel you need cash.
I don't even.
We always use cash. When
Or
we
you
travel.
take a big amount, or you take an amount out before you go. And then like it dwindles a bit, but I still use card as much as possible because I'm like, what if the cash runs out? And then I don't have cash.
What if the cash runs out?
So I always I mind the cash. I try not to use it too much. But then for like tips and small things, you've got it. Anyway.
We need both cash and cards.
We just need it. Anyway, let's jump into our next story. The ruler of Dubai meets the founders of Fix Chocolate. You know you love it. I'm so sorry to share these visuals.
Oh God.
They're just so tempting. But also the picture you're about to see speaks 1,000 words. Fix Chocolate shared an inspirational moment with the ruler of Dubai. Meeting His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, they said was an incredible moment for us. We were incredibly touched by the vision and warmth of the ruler.
The post continued to stand in the presence of someone whose leadership has shaped Dubai into a global hub for innovation was inspiring beyond words. As a homegrown brand, we felt supported by this incredible community from day one, and it's been driving force behind our growth and success.
Following the meeting with the ruler, they said we walked away from that encounter feeling truly grateful, not just for the opportunity to contribute to this amazing city, but for the unwavering support and encouragement that continues to push us to do more, dream bigger and aim higher. Thank you, Dubai, for making this place home. What a beautiful shout out. This is the moment here. You can see the photos beside us.
Oh my God. Look at her go, honestly. Look at her go. She's
So
succeeding
true.
so
And it's just one of so many phenomenal success and growth stories in the country. We were talking about the show. We were trying to think like what other homegrown companies. I'm so sorry. You know the reason I'm fumbling is because I'm looking at this video and I really apologize to everyone who's watching that we've gone with this video this morning. It's an absolute disaster. It's just close your eyes.
No, for me, by the way, I get disgusted by looking at people eat.
Oh, this is the video that made it viral. This is the video that started the story.
I don't like mukbangs and stuff. I don't like watching people eat food. Food videos, I don't mind. Like the one in the background here, I don't mind it. It makes me crave it. But watching people eat, I can't.
You have some interesting food quirks. Wanted to run in through some of the other homegrown success stories of the UAE. So we asked Grok to put this together. Grok is a cool AI if you haven't used it. Salt.
It's my favorite. I love the fact that they're friends. I love this fact.
Yeah.
It's so cool. They started out as a truck.
Yes.
As a truck in Kite Beach. And now they have so many branches.
And they're still there and it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Friends, Emirati businesswoman as well, which is amazing. The Giving Movement.
Oh. Giving Movement, by the way, if you notice, it's only a Dubai thing. You can only see it in Dubai.
I think they're opening a branch somewhere else. I know Abu Dhabi. I feel. But do you think? But we started here, so like the story starts here and then it goes elsewhere.
True, but I remember when they first opened, like everyone was wearing Giving Movement. The Giving Movement, it was everywhere.
Yeah, I've got some for sure. Sisters Beauty Lounge is another homegrown success story. Ganache Chocolatier.
Sirkal, such a nice spot, honestly.
Have you been?
I've always walked past it, but I've never been.
Apparently they've got 100 flavours of chocolate, and now I just know that Dubai is a place to have chocolate. Raw Coffee Company.
No, I don't know this place. No.
Oh, you don't know it? Okay, I thought you said you don't like it. I was like, that's a strong opinion on a coffee.
No, I don't know.
Poor local coffee company.
No, I support local businesses.
Cafe Rider, a really cool motorcycle-themed business. It's in Al Quoz. And of course, Huda Beauty, Kayali.
Oh, of course. Huda Beauty, they're international. They're so big.
They are unbelievable.
And they're so friendly, by the way. They're the sweetest people you've ever met in your whole life.
I've got Kayali on this morning and I smell good and that's all that matters.
I love Kayali personally. Thank you so much.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
To all of the amazing success stories in this country. Let's move into our next story. Is reality show India Bling coming soon? The pot is being stirred. Another Dubai Bling inspired show could be coming soon. So if you're a reality show lover, brace yourself.
After the iconic success of Dubai Bling, an insider source shows the show will feature big names that we all know well, although they cannot clarify who. But the real question is, can this show be more bling than Dubai? I mean, if they get the Ambanis, it will be more bling than Dubai.
If they get the Ambanis, we have no idea of the names.
I really
That's
hope
one
they do
thing
get
to
the
note.
Ambanis.
As I feel like I think I'd watch it
I
anyway.
would watch it if they had the Ambanis.
Yeah.
I would be so interested. Because for
Same.
the past 2 years with the whole wedding, we've been like, I'm part of the family now. So I need to be part of the reality show.
Did you see the bit where one of the Ambani sisters was speaking to Kim Kardashian at the wedding?
Well, what? I didn't see that video, no.
It's on the entertainment. It was on the Kardashians, and she basically was telling the Kardashians that, I love the Kardashians so much. When I was working as a consultant in the States, I used to just go home and watch it. I felt like you're my sister. So she obviously likes reality TV.
She likes reality TV, so that's a sign.
It is a sign, and they like media. Like they specifically invited international names from around the world to attend one of the family wedding, which means they want the headlines. They like the headlines. But can any city outbling Dubai is the question.
Listen, I don't know.
I spoke to Saima, our boss, and she was like, India will outbling Dubai.
Well,
she said the wealth is like extraordinary.
Yeah, that's what I heard also in India. Like the wealth is really, really extravagant there. It's so big. That's why I'm hoping Ambanis will be part of it.
I hope it happens, by the way, because we're kind of just speculating on whether the show may or may not. But if it does, you heard it here first.
I don't want to have a preference, but for me, for example, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills topped Dubai Bling for me.
Yeah, but we're how many seasons in? And I think
Real Housewives of Dubai, like they're grand. You see their houses? Like, did you see
Real Housewives of Dubai or
Beverly Hills? Sorry.
Yeah, but now it's so far. I saw
Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah, she's amazing. But it's too many seasons in. I feel like once you get too far, of any reality show or even TV show, the storylines become forced.
True.
Like every show has its like maximum number of episodes. Like I think The Office UK, Ricky Gervais, he just did 2 seasons because he was like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, you don't need
more. And it was perfect. It was
the American
so perfect.
one is nice also though.
I don't know.
Oh.
It doesn't match up.
It doesn't hit?
It doesn't match up to the UK one.
That's what they say, by the way. People always say that UK comedy is much better than the American comedy.
I mean, I wonder who says that. Do Americans say that? Probably not.
No. But sometimes, honestly, the American comedy really annoys me.
Well, I would say that because I grew up with UK and Irish comedy.
Yeah.
But then I'm sure Americans would have a different take on it.
But like, personally, I don't want to sound biased, but I feel like the American comedy is just sometimes too disgusting.
Oh, I always think it's quite safe. I don't know.
It's safe and it's disgusting.
I don't know. Aussies do good reality shows.
Yeah.
That's my take.
But no, I think for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they should have stopped at season 6.
And what are they now?
And I think they're at season 13 or something.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much, yeah.
Things that we can support happening multiple times is amazing feats and challenges across the UAE, which brings us nicely into our next guest. They ran 640 kilometres. That's 7 Emirates in 10 days. Our guest will be joining us after this very short break. Do stay tuned. Hey guys, very welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. 517 kilometres, 7 Emirates, 10 days. Today's guests, Stephen Beard and Silau, took on a record-breaking endurance challenge, 7 Emirates, and they did it for autism. They ran to raise funds for the Dubai Autism Centre to build an app that will change lives. Welcome to the studio. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
After such an epic challenge. Welcome to the show.
570 kilometers in just 10 days. Like, amazing. What inspired you to take this such extreme challenge for autism?
So about 2 years ago, I moved across to the Emirates. And at the same time, my 4-year-old, who's now turned 6, as of Sunday on the last day of the challenge, he was diagnosed with autism. And so I started to explore the type of therapies and community engagements that were available here in the UAE, and that's how I came across the Dubai Autism Centre. And so we kind of realised that we needed to make a bit more attention on the condition. And I thought of ways that we could try and contribute to that. And I thought, well, why not do a really big, long endurance challenge to see if we can create enough noise.
What an amazing motivation. And then how did you become involved?
I just moved to Dubai for about a week, and then Beardy kind of dropped it on me. He was like, I'm doing this challenge. I was like, okay, enjoy. He was like, oh no, you're doing it with me. I was like, right, okay. And then being in a 2-man team at work, we became very exposed to each other's personal lives. So through that, I got to meet Teddy. So he then soon became my drive towards wanting to make a change as well.
And had you done any endurance challenges like this before, or why 7 Emirates?
Why 7 Emirates?
I think part of it was that we'd come, in doing the research, we'd come across an official 7 Emirates run, which was, I think, put together maybe 6 or 7 years ago. It was about 499 kilometres. And I think the other thing we thought about was that, yes, we live in Dubai, we've seen Dubai, but we haven't really seen and experienced and felt and smelt the wider Emirates. And so what better opportunity than actually running and exploring it. So
how did you train for it?
We worked very closely with Inner Fight that are based here in Dubai. So they've got a couple of well-known international endurance runners who certainly put us through our paces. It was fairly challenging in the sense that we have an international job, so we're always on the move, which actually made it quite good fun that we were doing kind of some of our training in Saudi and back in Europe and in parts of Asia as well. So it was challenging doing the training itself, but no more challenging than the actual run. I think we were somewhat naive as to what we would encounter. Because if you were to look at our feet right now, that would be a good illustration of just how naive we were.
I see you've come in Crocs today. Like,
yeah.
You guys can you? Like, you finished on Sunday, so the fact that you're even walking is remarkable, but the bodies are still recovering?
Very much so. So
can we get a close-up of this? Like, do we want to...
Pick a camera, any camera?
Look away now if you don't like feet. Keep looking if you love them.
So the pinky...
Just lift the foot up.
I haven't got the mobility anymore.
Can you not? Oh no!
Can you get a close-up of the blister? Can you get it in? You won't see a bigger blister than that. Look at that. That's
it's got a shine to it. Yeah, she's big.
In fact, maybe we should pop it now.
No.
No?
Oh, what?
Oh, my shoulder's going again.
And then the pinky's red raw as well. So that's... There was a point where I didn't know what was plaster, what was skin anymore, but she's drying up. Onwards.
God.
Onwards and upwards, yeah.
Indeed.
And your body is still twitching?
Yeah, so you probably see the shoulder a little bit. So some of the nerves, because when you're doing this all day, every day, it was twitching. And then yesterday, for whatever reason, when I was talking, my mouth started to kind of shake. But apparently this is all normal. The bodily functions getting back to doing what they're meant to do.
Well, if the experts say it's normal, that's great. But so before the show, you said how many marathons was it in total?
So it's just over 12 marathons in 10 days.
And if someone wants to run a marathon, I imagine, this is just guesswork from my side, it's like you start training 6 months out.
Yeah. You should probably start training 6 months out. Definitely.
So for 12 marathons.
It's funny, like a lot of people have said like how crazy it is, and it is. Looking back now, it is pretty crazy to kind of consider the distance that we travel. But what I would say is, the body's an amazing thing, and we get used to certain things that we put the body through. So perversely, we woke up yesterday and we both voice noting each other and thought, I just want to go for a run. It's the body just saying, I'm used to running. Well, why can't I go again? So today will be our first day back to work, and it just feels a little bit unfamiliar wearing smart shirts and trying to be a little bit corporate, but we'll see how we get on. We might try and squeeze in 10K later on Kite Beach if anyone wants to join us for a ceremonial run.
Thank you very much. I'm out. So other than the blisters and the twitching, what was the most challenging thing about this run?
For me personally, it was probably nutrition. I think I lost about 7 kilos over the course of the 10 days, burnt over 60,000 calories. So we both had different needs in terms of when we needed to stop and refuel. So the first day was very much a steep learning curve, and there's a lot of teething issues and coordinating as a team when we were going to refuel and stock up, and recovery as well. It was tough because you finish a long day of running, you're like anywhere between 7 and 11 hours on foot. So the last thing you want to do is get in an ice bath, have a massage, get food down you, but your body just adapts and overcomes.
Yeah, I think also the early mornings on the highways were pretty scary. Definitely over Ramadan it was quite challenging because, you know, if you're running into the traffic, you've got to then cross over a lane where someone's coming onto the highway. That bit was quite nerve-wracking in the dark. But actually, in some ways, it was a bit easier running because you were so fixated on the traffic and making sure that you weren't, you know, going to get hit, that you forgot about some of the niggles and the pains in the joints.
So how many hours of sleep would you get?
Well, that was the other challenge because C is a serious snorer. If ever there was a challenge for snoring, I promise you he would win. There was no one who could beat him at that. So it depends. Yeah, I'd had to roll him over on his side occasionally to stop it. But I'd say on average, somewhere between 4 and 6 hours sleep a night.
And where do you sleep?
We had an RV.
Okay.
So you can see some of the images. So we had a big RV that took us around. So all 5 of us slept in there. So it was that was probably the most challenging part of it, really, just getting used to the idea of living with 5 people in a pretty small environment.
You generally, sometimes we've interviewed people who've done this challenge specifically and other ones before, and we usually speak to one person. It tends to be one person takes on the challenge. So. And then that person who's taking on this challenge over many days rests when they need to rest. But now you're doing it together. So do you think that worked in your favor, or did that work in your favor in terms of the time that you completed it, or did it go against you because you've got 2 people with 2 separate timings when they need to take breaks? You know.
I think it probably works in our favour. I think at the start we tried to run together, but then we soon found out that Steve's a much more accomplished runner than myself. So. Let him crack on.
Only because you're carrying much more muscle mass. That's
no longer. I put my shirt on this morning. It was like a bin bag.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the challenging bit because, you know, running in particular is a very individualistic sport. Because you're both going through different feelings and the heart rates are going at different rates. But I think conversely, knowing that you've got someone there to support you who's going through the same type of process at the end of the day wills you on to get it completed. So I'm extremely grateful to see for accepting the challenge. And he's already told me that next year's challenge will be a bodybuilding competition, so he's already got a head start. So, it should be 1-1 by this time next year.
The mental battle was pretty bizarre as well, because even throughout the course of a day, you might want to start just listening to whatever's going on around you. You might want to stretch with music. You might not want anyone around you. Sometimes I'd hated seeing Steve in front of me. Other times I liked being able to chase him. So as much as a physical battle it was very much in your head as well.
Yeah, it was a massive emotional, that's what I would say, for anybody who's looking at, you know, doing ultra marathons or this type of thing. It's not just a physical endurance type of process. It's actually an amazingly spiritual process. I'm not spiritual whatsoever. But kind of being able to step out of the real world and be totally disconnected and be totally at one with nature allows you to think and start thinking about, you know, what's really important in life and what isn't. So, that's one thing I would say is a massive highlight, just having that ability to think.
Can I ask this? I do love to ask this question sometimes to people who've completed these challenges. What is your own personal mental hack to get you to the next step? You know, like we all hit that point. It's the breaking point. It's like, I can't go on. I'm sure you hit that probably every day, but how did you actually break yourself through that? What's your own personal?
I think mine was pretty easy, and I think it's a really good question you ask. That in order to do these types of things, you've got to have a really strong why. And if the why is not strong enough, then the mind will let the body take over. It's just a consistent battle between mind and body, but the mind should rule overall. So for me, when I was getting eggs on my legs with the shin splints, and it was pretty painful. For me personally, it was a case of saying, well, my son Teddy, who's sometimes finding life fairly challenging with the autism and all the other autistic kids that are going through their challenges, the pain I'm feeling with taking this next step is nowhere near the challenges that they face on a daily basis. So for me, that was very easy to accomplish. Where'd you go?
Right. For me, it was more just a point to prove to myself, just showing that I have some sort of mental grit and resilience. I think it's so easy when you're going on a run or on a treadmill, you can just cop out and bottle it whenever you want. But when you're running with someone else as well who's not relying on you but is there for you and you need to be there for them, then I don't know, that's what spurred me on really.
Yeah, cool.
So was there any moment where you almost wanted to quit during this
Yeah,
run?
loads.
Loads?
Loads. There were tears. I probably had two moments in particular where I said, I can't do it anymore. I just know I can't. And I rang my wife and said, you may as well come and pick me up because I'm done. And then I think she said, okay, I'll come and get you. And then I kind of had a word of myself and thought, what the hell are you doing? Just keep going. It was an emotional roller coaster. But yeah, I probably had 2 or 3. Yourself?
2 or 3 alone on the last day.
On the last day, yeah. No, you were a broken man on the last day going down Alfay Road. Not far from here, actually.
Yeah. Probably on the first 2 days, you still got the excitement. And then you realise, oh my goodness, I've got 8 more days for this. But it's when the pains start to kick in. So I had the blisters to start with, and then I was having to overcompensate. So my hips started going, then my quads. So yeah, quite a few times to be honest.
Like when you think about it, when you think about the injuries that we've seen on your foot, like how did you know you would be okay?
Didn't really. Very much no. I did my first marathon a week before we started. So
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty unprepared physically, but I don't know, made it through.
Yeah, but you know, as long as you haven't got a broken bone or a muscle tear, then you can get through it. There's no excuse. So biologically, it's just pain. Pain is just some form of biology, right? It's just a reaction in the mind to say this hurts. Well, great, who cares? As long as the body's functioning, then you can get through it, and that is the challenge that you've got to put in your mind. But you can apply that to any part of life as well, which I think is the key lesson that we've kind of taken away from the challenge overall.
And what about road closures or anything like that? Did you hit any barriers, or was it smooth sailing across 7 Emirates?
It definitely wasn't smooth sailing, was it? I think we encountered 1 or 2 road closures, 1 or 2 things that changed on the route. So, like for example, on day 2, we had a 59-kilometre run off road. But there was a new skydive school just on the outskirts of Abu Dhabi that wasn't there when we'd done the original recce. So we had to find a way around that, which was a bit tumultuous. So we kind of ended up in water, would you believe, in like a bog. So we had wet foot, which caused the blisters. There were a few others, weren't there?
Yeah, a few feral dogs chasing us.
Oh.
That kicked up the K's a little bit.
I've never seen a man run so quickly with blisters. These dogs started going after him. But fortunately, he had lots of beef jerky, which is a good thing to consume.
Grenade.
So you should have seen it, right? Just flying this beef jerky, and the dogs are going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then the barbed wire gates. We had it all really.
What an adventure.
So what were you eating? How were you fueling your bodies?
Not optimally. It was just purely sugars and carbs for the most part. Typically start the day with some Cocoa Pops, beef jerky.
Tuna pasta, sweet corn was our favourite dish.
Yeah, you had really weird cravings, and you get really fixated on wanting that. Like at one point, I really wanted an apple flapjack, so I got that down me, and I felt well good after.
But that was a bit of a challenge as well, right? Because obviously trying to do it during Ramadan was very difficult getting, particularly when you get outside the likes of Abu Dhabi and Dubai. But there were some local people who were really, really kind in terms of, offering to make us some like chicken biryani, even though they themselves, weren't eating over the course of the day. So that was another really touching component, just like how many beeps we were getting from people. Like initially we thought they were telling us to get off the road. They weren't. They were just local people who had been really supportive and offering us bottles of water or food during Ramadan. So yeah, really, really touching for the community to get behind it.
How nice. Guys, what an amazing challenge that you did. But as you said, your son Teddy and pure motivation at the heart of it. So can you tell us a little bit about the app that you're trying to fund?
Yeah, for sure. So in conjunction with the Dubai Autism Centre, we're working with an American company who are producing an application called A-OK. The idea and the initiative has been backed, and the first component is to allow kind of retail and leisure facilities to be kind of autism compliant. So they effectively send in like an AI camera to assess the environment from like noise, from sharp edges, just to make sure that people who have autism would feel comfortable in those environments. And the second component, which is really important to me, is creating that community or that sense of community. So to kind of promote initiatives where we might have an autism-friendly day on Kite Beach, or we might go to the IMAX cinema, these types of things. So we've raised quite a bit of money so far, just over 200,000 dirhams for the first initiative. There's a few more initiatives over the course of this year, and we're hoping to raise around 4 million dirham. But yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. So it should be ready for kind of circulation towards the end of this year.
And for anyone who's watching who's feeling inspired and they want to get involved or to contribute, how can they do so?
So we have a Yalla Give page, which you'll find. You can follow us on Instagram, which is the 7 Emirates Run for Autism. And yeah, we're going to start trying to do a bit more community running involvements with the likes of Inner Fight as well. So yeah, just reach out. We're open, we're accessible, and we'd love everyone to try and get on board.
Amazing. Before you leave us, any advice for people who would take on the challenge of 7 Emirates? If something you wish you knew before you started.
Definitely more training in the first instance. Learn your body, learn the routes, and stay hydrated, because there was some serious heat. You're 40 degrees to top out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'd just make sure you get the right type of team. So we were really fortunate that we had a solid team behind us. You can't do these runs really on your own. You need somebody who can help operationally with all the licenses. You need someone who can drive the RV. You need a masseuse who can get those legs moving again. So it's all about the team, really.
Okay, well, fair play, guys. An amazing feat and for a very important cause. And when I see feet, I just think of your feet. I can't get it out of my head. Still recovering, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us your story. Thank you, Massa.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.